Hi guys, welcome back to my lesson on the conversion and seasoning of timber. So if you remember, I left you with this problem of the different lengths of annual rings which we get in our log when we cut them up. And if we're not careful, the water will dry out in a uneven state, and this will make the wood shrink or cup. So what we need are some methods of being able to control this moisture loss, and that's what we call seasoning of timber. There are two main methods of seasoning timber. One is the air-dried method, which is just like a natural process of reducing the moisture content within the wood. And the other one is more of a controlled method, which is called kiln-dried wood. I'm going to start with air-dried seasoning, and I'm going to make a little list here of the different things that we have to do. And the first one is to sticker our planks ready for the drying process. Now what that means is that we place little battens of wood here in between all the planks that we've got, and these we call stickers. Okay, because it's sticks of wood. And what this allows is the air to circulate and help ventilation right the way through this big mass of planks of wood that we have. So in this diagram here, you can see that I've got the planks in place. They're lifted off the floor to stop them getting wet as well, and also to allow that circulation to happen. The second step is to cover the wood, so cover the timber, so that the rain, the snow, the intense sun doesn't affect the wood too much, because we are going to leave it here for a year or two. Yes, you heard me right, a year or two. So I'm going to put a roof on there to make sure that this wood dries carefully. I leave the sides open because remember, the circulation of air to help the moisture evaporate is important. So number three, we leave the sides open so that we get that circulation of air and we get evaporation. Okay. The fourth thing we're going to do is we're going to leave this now for a long time. Now, it all depends upon the thickness of material. So it will, 25 millimeters of thickness will take 1 year to dry out. So if we've got a plank of wood here and it is 25 millimeters thick, this distance here, then it will take 1 year to dry out. And you know, in a lot of cases the wood is 50 millimeters in thickness, so that would take up to 2 years before it's ready to be used. An advantage of this system is that it is cost effective, because basically we're using the natural elements around the wood to reduce this moisture content down to a suitable level. But a disadvantage in some respects is that we can only lower the amount of moisture left, the percentage of water left in the wood, down to 14–16%. And this is really okay for outdoor materials, but if you want to use the wood on the inside, then you're going to need to reduce it further than that. So over here you can see a typical setup where we've got a roof protecting the stickered wood and the open sides, allowing the air to circulate around and get this wood to dry out. Let's have a look at the second method, which is the kiln dried, and this is a more controlled method of reducing the moisture content. Let's just draw a line in here to make sure we separate these two processes. A kiln is a piece of equipment which can heat up a certain area. Maybe you've seen one in art where you've dried out your ceramics. And you can see here that the stickered wood has been placed into the kiln, and then this door, it will be shut and sealed. So the first step is to sticker the wood again, sticker timber to create those gaps and allow the circulation. And then you place this into the kiln, and this can be done on a trolley or a forklift truck. Now let's just pop that diagram on there, because this is where it gets a little bit more complicated. In the kiln, to produce the heat, we have some of these hot pipes which have hot water running through them. So these are hot water pipes which are used to create the heat, rather like your central heating system that you have at home. And we also have some other pipes in the kiln which is used to pump in steam, rather like you get in a sauna. So the third step is to pump in steam and heat, and what this will do is increase the moisture content in the wood, so that all the wood has the same amount of moisture to start off with. You could imagine that different parts of the tree would have different moisture levels, and also different logs are going to have different moisture levels. So the heat and steam equalize the moisture that is in the wood. So this is pump in the steam, and then the next step is to pump out the steam and heat. Because what we're going to do then is we're going to gradually decrease the moisture content in the wood, and then it will always be at the same moisture content as we are controlling, as it drops down in percentage. I'm just going to go back to here and put the equalized, because that's an important stage there, that we've equalized the moisture in all the wood in stage 3 before we start to decrease the moisture level. So moving on to step 5, we keep doing this until we've reached the moisture content. Can I just put MC there for moisture content? Reach the moisture content, which with kiln dried seasoning we're looking at between 8 and 10%, and that is very good for indoor timber, which you might want to use furniture, etc. Of course, this is going to cost more, and therefore there's an extra expense of the wood that you get, which is being kiln dried. But this process is much faster, and it will take about 6 to 8 weeks to complete. So there we have it. Thank you very much for listening.